Chapter 8. The Falcon in the Desert. The winds are ferocious as the army marches forward. Sand, as hot as the sun itself, blows into their faces. But these troops are not discouraged. This is the furthest into enemy territory they have been. It is a time for war, but also one for celebration. Horus, the Egyptian god of war, instructs them to form a camp on an embankment atop a hill. There, they can watch for enemy movements while the reconnaissance raptors fly over the upcoming sandy cliff. These winged gods will provide assurances that Horus can now move his men onward. One of the birds of prey returns on schedule. He lands on Horus's shoulder and squawks, "There is no one in the immediate vicinity, your highness."
"And what of the other two falcons? Why have they not returned as well?"
"I cannot be certain. I do know that it is rather flat in those directions. They could still be flying." Horus is satisfied by this assessment. He gathers his lieutenants and barks his orders. They would continue south, deep inside the Red Land. As the march progresses across deeper into the heartless heat, another raptor returns. She has news as well, although hers is of concern. "A small base camp exists," she informs. "Strangely, near the bottom of the upcoming hill." Horus considers this. That would be an indefensible position. He wants to act cautiously, but some of his troops have already crested the summit. Already they have begun their charge down the embankment. Each soldier knows that he with the most kills earns Horus's favor, and each wants to be held in that high regard. The lieutenants are unable to stop them as the army rushes to engage the camp. As the first wave of men arrive, they see that no encampment exists. It was all a mirage, or, more accurately, a ploy. Suddenly, walking warriors and chariots emerge from all directions, and a wholesale slaughter of Horus's now disorganized army ensues. They attempt to flee back up the peak, but are met by a pack of winged carnivorous lizards spewing fire from their great mouths. Horus's army is routed. The only thing to do is to attempt a truce.
"Take me,"
he calls to a general in chariot.
"Take me to Set."
The Egyptian general smiles. He knows what Horus's capture would mean to Set, as well as the darkness as a whole.
"Get in," he orders.
Horus does as instructed. His hope was that his surrender would ease the butchery his troops were receiving. But this is not the case. The general slows his horse to a trot, so Horus can witness demigod after demigod suffer atrocities like he has never seen. Arms and legs are severed. Spears enter eye sockets. Genitals are mutilated. It is more like a torture chamber than a battle scenario. Finally, Horus arrives in front of Set. Horus removes his falcon helmet as a sign of respect and defeat. He lays down his weapons at Set's feet. What would it take to end this senseless massacre? Set does not respond immediately. "Set, I beseech you, what may I do to appease you?"
"Horus, you shall bend to your knees before me."
Reluctantly, Horus kneels. Set encircles the god of war.
"You know, as long as we fought, I expected a better showing of your troops. They are inferior to mine, of course, and it was highly foolish for you to venture onto the Red Land like you did. You are far more suited for the black soil, wouldn't you agree?"
Horus has no choice. "Yes, I agree." Set has been waiting for this moment for so many millennia. He intends to savor every rich second of it.
"You and your forces are going to join me."
Horus cannot fathom such a request.
"No, I'd sooner die. And sacrifice the rest of your army as well. In reality, I care little for you and those in your charge. I really want the city of Heliopolis, and I want you to deliver it to me."
Horus shakes his head.
"Ra would never allow that. Ra is fickle and weak. How has he remained in favor is a mystery to me. But you, my dear nephew, will do as instructed. We shall rule all of Egypt together, you and me, as it was written."
"I am afraid I don't remember that book." Set smiles.
"Perhaps I should enlighten you, or perhaps someone else should."
Isis, the Egyptian goddess of magic, emerges from the tent of Set. This stuns Horus. "Mother? Listen to your uncle, Horus. We have devised the most devious of plans.
Together, you will conquer Alexandria and topple Ra from his throne. You and Hathor shall reign supreme. Of the day, Set reminds, the night belongs to me. Horus is adamant. Hathor shall have nothing to do with Ra's wrath. She is my wife, not a warrior. She is the goddess of beauty, not one of conflict. She shall be spared from any part of your plans. Set loves this. Horus, she is my final bargaining chip. He nods to his bodyguards, and they disappear behind the tent. When they return, the magnificent Hathor is chained and blindfolded. She does not struggle. It seems she has accepted her fate. Enraged, Horus scrambles to his feet and is met with a boot to the chest. Set puts his hands on the guard's shoulder and indicates that Horus can approach his wife. Horus is in utter shock. Hathor, what have they done to you? How long have you been here? She is still a little hazy. I do not know. I was with your mother, and the rest is foggy. I drugged her, Isis admits. It was the only way to get you to negotiate with Set. But trust me, our plan is for the best. Ra's time is bygone. It is time for him to be dethroned, and together with Set, you shall take your rightful place. Set orders Hathor unchained. Finally, she is free to embrace Horus. The two hold each other for a long time. That's enough, Isis says. We have a sun god to defeat. Horus wonders aloud. What of the light? The portal will now surely fall into the hands of the darkness. No, Set says, grinning. Together, we shall ensure it falls into the hands of the Egyptians. Let the Greeks, Norse, and the rest kneel before us as they once did. Isis holds the hand of her brother and her son. My lineage will be the most powerful the world has ever seen.